Valve games. There are plenty of them nowadays, from the critically acclaimed Half-Life and Portal series to the Left 4 Dead series, which is also critically acclaimed, to online shooters like Team Fortress 2 and Counter-Strike. They got pretty much something for everyone. More into fantasy MOBAs? Dota 2 might be your cup of tea. Hungry for something experimental? Try Deadlock. Wanna sit in an empty lobby forever contemplating why you're wearing tights? Give Ricochet a crack. And there's probably a game or two I missed here. In fact, I'm sure of it. But what if you didn't have access to any of these games for whatever reason? Are there any free alternatives? Well, yeah, absolutely. And you would have to look no further than Roblox. Hey, look, I know this seems really silly, but actually, this is going to be a pretty interesting journey. Yep, in this video, I'm going to cover 5 different Roblox experiences that are heavily Valve-themed. They don't have to be perfectly replicating the source material, as long as they have theming from the games going on or are at least heavily inspired by the games, it counts. So without extending this intro even longer than it needs to be, it's time to dust off my Roblox account, SkySpawn6, again, and yes, I still do. And it's time to jump straight into these experiences and see what the community has been building over there. LambdaGeneration. Let's start with everyone's favorite first-person puzzle game, Portal. Now, back in the day, I did cover a Roblox experience called Tunneler, which was a pretty close experience to that of the original Portal, but with its own story and everything. This time, I want to show you something a little different, but actually still developed by the same people as Tunneler. This is Doomspire Portals, a Roblox experience developed by Homemade Meal, and it's definitely not your regular Portal experience. In fact, it's so different that it has more to do with the Splitgate series of games than Portal, to be fair. But in terms of style, you can definitely tell that it leans more towards Portals/Tunneler's style. Look, the cosmetic store even has an Axel lookalike from Tunneler. We'll come back to the store in a moment. The gameplay of Doomspire Portals revolves around 4 towers, and each team possesses 1. You gotta make sure that your tower remains standing while destroying the other team's towers by using bombs. In the meantime, you can use your portal gun to portal all over the map, as long as the surface you're shooting isn't metal, and you can use your gun to shoot people. And it's honestly pretty satisfying to see them ragdoll all over the place. When you kill people, you get points, and those points can be used in the shop to buy weapons and cosmetics. That's right, you can earn points in-game just by playing it. As far as I can tell, you can't even buy the points or anything. So hey, no microtransactions it seems. Wait, is that mech wine in the background? Oh, this is Valve themed, alright. Honestly, I think the gameplay is pretty fun. I was actually playing this for a fair bit while researching for this video, and it was a surprisingly polished experience. Yeah, it might not have Portal's puzzle elements, but it sure has portals, and they work great. One word of advice though for when you decide to play this, turn off portal rendering. This makes the experience run significantly better. Even my RTX 5080 was brought to its knees when this effect was turned on. Not sure why it's on by default actually, but yeah, you're better off just turning it off. So do that. Our next experience here is called Headcrab Infection, and it was made by Blaze Protocol. And it's a shooter heavily inspired by Half-Life. So much so that, well, it looks pretty much like Half-Life if it was shoved in the Roblox engine. In this experience, you can either play as humans trying to, I guess, escape the Black Mesa facility, or you can play as Zen creatures to try and thwart the attempts of the humans to get to safety. And I think this is a pretty interesting setup. When you load up the experience, you can choose between a few teams like the Survivors, which includes scientists and security guards, HECU, Black Ops, which have specific times on which they deploy, and you can of course choose between playing as either a Zen creature or even a Race X creature, and all have their own abilities you can use. Once you spawn into the game as a survivor, you start out with a default loadout. You got a gun and a crowbar to protect yourself with. And oh boy, do you need to be able to protect yourself here because, the creatures are pretty powerful. Yeah, you gotta be on your toes here. The goals for the survivors are pretty simple. You need to get to the surface using elevators that can be found on each level. But before you can use an elevator, you need to find a keycard. And you basically have to do that until you get to the surface. As a HECU soldier though, I have no idea what you have to do because you need some sort of game pass to even play as one. Same goes for the Black Ops soldiers, and that costs you Robux apparently. Yeah, not doing that. Sorry, this video doesn't have that kind of budget. You can play as a lot of the Zen creatures though, only 4 requiring you to get a game pass. And Race X just has a pit drone available for now. Is that a Shrek crab? When you want to play as a zombie, you spawn in as a Headcrab first. You gotta get yourself a host. So whenever a player comes into the same room as you can jump at them and latch onto it to become a full-blown Headcrab zombie. Basically, the only goal for the Zen and Race X creatures are to just get rid of as many humans as possible. It's an interesting experience that actually got me playing it for a bit of time. Is it as good as Half-Life itself? Well, no, but this can definitely keep you entertained for a little while. And it might be something you would actually come back to every once in a while. And that's not just because of the replayability of this experience, but also because this experience is still in active development. The last update was released a month ago, so yeah. The chances are that if you don't play it for a bit and come back to it, some stuff may have changed around. Anyway, go check out Headcrab Infection for yourself, if you dare. Yep, this exists. Roblox has its very own Garry's Mod clone, and it's called Ray's Mod. Now, is the person who made this actually called Ray? Well, the development group that made this is called Dreamy, and its founder seems to be called Ray Aurus, so there's a good chance. So Ray's Mod does a lot of what Garry's Mod does. You have a single player and multiplayer mode at your disposal and multiple game modes you can play like hide and seek and zombie survival. And besides the Garry's Mod, Ray's Mod mainstays, RM Construct and RM Flattywood, you also have unofficial sandbox maps, which seems to be maps created by the community for the experience. That is honestly pretty cool that you can straight up just launch them from here. And super quick too. Just click on a map and before you know it, you're in the game. No long downloads required. Unlike Garry's Mod. Ugh. Hate this screen. The main draw for me right now though is RM Construct. And hey, guess what? It's an actually pretty decent remake of GM Construct, but then in Roblox. Although it does miss a few things that are in the OG. Like this upper room in this apartment building, and the mirror doesn't quite work, and the secret room is full of cat pictures? Not complaining, just a little surprised, I guess? Meow? But enough about the map though, let's talk about the features. Because when you press Q on your keyboard, you will find a whole bunch of tools and items to spawn, just like in the real Garry's Mod. And when you spawn a prop, you can manipulate that prop with the fizz gun, because yes, Roblox of course has a full physics system of its own. Although I gotta say that it's a lot jankier than source physics. Like, the physics in Roblox seem like they're perpetually fast forwarding or something. It looks really weird, man, but hey, it does kinda work. You also got a bunch of weapons to play with. Most of them do not actually come from Half-Life 2. At least I don't remember the P90, or did I miss something? The tool gun also makes an appearance. With it, you can do all kinds of things you're probably pretty familiar with. You can weld things, rope things together, change the weight of stuff, add thrusters and hoverballs, a lot of things. Not nearly everything Gmod offers, but it's pretty cool what they were able to implement so far. Oh, and you can drive vehicles. Not these ones though, only the vehicles in the Vehicles tab. They, look a bit basic, but they work. You can ride Sally from the hit movie Cars. All in all, I think this is a pretty nice package, and it's still actively being worked on, it seems. Anyway, there is much more to Ray's mod than just this, so I would suggest you check it out, especially maybe with some friends. Try out some of the community maps and screw around in them. The Gmod spirit is definitely there. So, this is a bit of an interesting one. Left to Die is, obviously, a Roblox experience based upon Left 4 Dead, and it actually works pretty great. The movement feels exactly like Left 4 Dead's movement. You got common infected running around in groups as well as special infected. Maps that look pretty darn great, especially for the Roblox engine, and it even has most of the items and weapons you expect. Even the zombie dismemberment system is in place here. It's a bit Robloxy looking, but there was genuinely an attempt here to mimic Left 4 Dead's system for realistic zombie deconstruction. Again, genuinely impressive. What's the catch, though? I did say at the beginning of this segment that this is a bit of an interesting one. Well, yeah, I said that because it's been discontinued. Ah, crap. So this experience was in the middle of development and was actually really going into the right direction here. But it was unfortunately cancelled, and I think that's just a really big shame. What is here is still very playable though. The campaign mode unfortunately doesn't always load. The rare time it did load for me, I was able to play through a map with some other people though. And yeah, it's pretty much what you expect from Left 4 Dead. The survival mode works pretty well though and can be pretty challenging at times. And despite its discontinuation, it's still actively being played by sometimes hundreds of people. So there's always a pretty high chance you'll find yourself in a session with 3 other players. And it's a whole heck of a lot of fun. Look at the amount of visitors too, 32 million. Now, I'm not sure if these are rookie numbers in Roblox or something, but to me, that's mind-blowing. Really makes you wonder why the plug was pulled at the end of the day. But hey, life happens, interests shift, or maybe they hit a wall in development somewhere. It looks like some people who worked on this ended up working on this experience called Guts and Black Powder. And yeah, it's a lot more actively supported, and 288 million visits? Hot damn. Yeah, they're doing pretty well for themselves. Anyway, I recommend giving Left to Die a shot if you want a good Left 4 Dead survival clone. Despite development stopping right in the middle of it, it's still a pretty decent experience with a lot of love and effort put into it. Last but certainly not least, Yup, what you're seeing here is a full and working Team Fortress 2 inspired experience in Roblox, and it's called Typical Colors 2. Developed by Dorcas Digital, it aims to let you play as offensive, defensive, or support roles with 200 weapons at your disposal to help your team win. Sounds pretty ambitious, right? Well, it is, and I have to be honest, it's a very good Team Fortress 2-like game. It feels almost exactly like the original, and it's very polished. Like, I had a surprising amount of fun playing this experience, and I'm not even all that into Team Fortress 2 to begin with. All the 9 classes are accounted for, with legally distinct names, of course. You got the Annihilator, the Trooper, the Brute, the Arsonist, the Mechanic, the Doctor, the Agent, the Flanker, and the Marksman, and they all have the abilities and weapons you expect. The maps themselves also feel distinctly Team Fortress 2-ish. Some of them seem straight out of the original game, to be honest with you. Now, as you know, I'm not the biggest Team Fortress 2 fan, and my knowledge on that game is a bit limited, so if you recognize any of the maps in the footage, please leave a comment below. Alongside all that, there is actually a store and an inventory system as well. Here you can obtain and equip all kinds of different cosmetics and weapons. Remember when I said that the game has over 200 weapons? Well, you can find them all here in the store. Yeah, this is still Roblox after all. All the items in the store cost funds, and you can obtain funds by either playing the game or by buying them outright with Robux. I honestly don't know what to think of the multiple levels of fun bucks conversions you have to do here. Hold on, you're telling me that I have to first convert my hard-earned euros to Robux, and then I have to convert them again to funds? Why not just stick with Robux? Oh well, anyway, it's a free game you can play, and it's gotta earn its money somehow, and to be honest, with the amount of effort that went into this, I feel like it's not out of line to ask for some money for the cosmetics. Now, you might be wondering, Team Fortress 2 is already free, why wouldn't you just play the original instead of this clone? Well, there are multiple reasons, really. For one, some people may like to stick with the platform they already know and enjoy. You know, not everyone, especially kids nowadays, are immediately growing up with Steam anymore. And Typical Colors 2 actually works on the console version of Roblox as well as on mobile through the mobile beta that they're currently running. And a lot of younger players or players from different territories may only have their smartphone or a tablet to play games on. So basically, this Roblox experience might be the only way right now for some people to experience something Team Fortress 2 like. And hey, who knows, maybe one day they'll try the real thing. But for now, Typical Colors ain't half bad, eh? I just hope these kids won't drown in the microtransaction sauce. And that's it. Those are the Valve-themed Roblox experiences I wanted to talk your ear off about in this video. Now, there are many Roblox experiences out there that are Valve-themed that we came across while researching this video and that we decided to not cover right now. If this video does well, then maybe we'll do a part 2 of this. Be sure to let us know down below. So yeah, if your favorite wasn't in here, then that's probably why. It just didn't make the selection. Now, can these experiences really replace Valve games? No, of course not. But for a lot of people, Roblox is kind of the only game they play right now. I said this literally in the previous segment, but most kids nowadays don't immediately grow up with Steam as their main gaming platform. They grow up with stuff like Roblox on their phones or game consoles, and these Valve-themed experiences on Roblox might be enough and the most accessible for them right now. And hey, once they grow older and they retain this interest in Valve stuff, then maybe they'll start playing the real deal. In the meantime, for us seasoned Valve game enthusiasts, it's interesting to see what people over on the Roblox side of things are creating with our favorite franchises. And I gotta say, I'm pretty darn impressed. The people making these experiences are obviously highly passionate and have a lot of love for all things Valve. And despite a lot of these experiences being legally dubious, maybe, their hearts are in the right place. And all these experiences deliver a good bit of fun. So hey, all these experiences are linked down below in the description in case you want to check them out. Be sure to let us know what your favorites are as well. Or if you really don't care, well, that's fair enough too, I guess. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I know I've been out of it for a good while, but I'm going to start content production back up now for the channel, so there definitely won't be as long of a gap between this video and the next. In the meantime, don't forget about our social media pages. They're all linked down below. And don't forget to subscribe and to ring that bell so you'll stay notified when I upload next. Salutations, and take— oh, wait. Oh, I forgot about one experience. Hold on. Yep, this is just like the real Ricochet.
LambdaGeneration.